ways and experience healing reconciliation in our government and our nation. An evidence that prayer works as well. And Speaker of the House, Representative Kevin McCarthy.
Through every pain, to me.
Just before Christmas, I offered a message to the country, a message that is to the heart of the Christian faith, but yet is universal, a universal message of hope, of joy, of love, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, or any other faith, or no faith at all. It speaks to all of us as human beings who are here on this earth, primarily to care for one another. Look out for one another, and to love one another. It's not always easy. It's hard, but that's our mission. The message is always important, but especially important during tough times, like what we've been through the last 3, 4, 5 years. The pandemic has taken so much from us, from so many people. We've lost so much with one another. We lost so many people, over 1 million lives lost prior. And he and his dad. There's violence in our communities, like the mass shooting during the Lunar New Year at Monterey Park and Half Moon Bay, and Tyree Nichols and his family and the community in Memphis. Their justice is long overdue. Look, in our politics, in our lives, we too often see each other as opponents and not competitors. We see each other as enemies, not neighbors. And as tough as these times have been, if we look closer, we see the strength, the determination that has long defined America. I don't know. I'm a little worried how you got this whole choir here. Let's continue the practice of the ministry of presence. The ministry of presence. Being present not just for yourself, but for one another. That's what's expected of those of us in public service. The ministry of presence. It means being there for one another. But, there are those in the greatest need who look into us. They've elected us to help them, to really look at each other, not as Democrats, not as Republicans, but as who we really are, as fellow Americans, fellow human beings, worthy of being treated with dignity and respect. Because when we're present in our lives, we find there's so much more that unites us, in my view. So much more that unites us than divides us. And while we have profound differences, the last 2 years have proven we can come together to do big things for the country. We can join hands and get things done. We can redeem the soul of America. But I'm grateful you're able to join us in prayer this morning and lift up one another and our nation. We're all imperfect. We're all imperfect beings. We're fallible. We're frail. We fail. We don't know where and what fate will deliver us and when. But we do know what we can at our best do. Seek a little bit of light and hope. A little bit of love and truth. We know that faith and history teach us, however dark the night, joy cometh in the morning. And that joy comes when we apply the commandments of Scripture. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy mind, and all thy soul. And love thy neighbor as thyself. That's the hardest one. Thank Vice President Harris and Speaker McCarthy and Minority Leader Jeffries, and I also want to thank Bishop McKenzie and Pastor.